One of the biggest differences between an 80-year-old who struggles to get out of a chair and an 80-year-old who still travels, gardens, climbs stairs, and lives independently isn't a miracle supplement, it isn't genetics, and it certainly isn't avoiding exercise simply because they're getting older. It's something much simpler. They keep using their bodies, and more importantly, they keep asking their muscles to do some work. I'm Michael Cooper from Fit Past 60. I've spent nearly 30 years working as an exercise physiologist and sports scientist, and today I want to show you the one habit that I believe is a fundamental activity for staying physically capable into your 70s, 80s and beyond. And here's the important part. You don't need to train hard every day. You need to move every day and regularly challenge your strength, your balance and your physical capacity. Let's have a talk about why. Well, the habit is simple. You don't have to have a completely inactive day. Now, that sounds almost too simple, but there's a very important physiological principle behind it. Your body adapts to the demands that you place on it. If you spend most of your day sitting, the muscles receive very little stimulus. If you regularly walk, your cardiovascular system, your muscles, your joints, your nervous system receive a different signal. And if you progressively lift, push, pull, squat, step and carry, you provide an even stronger stimulus for maintaining strength and function. This is why the World Health Organization recommends that older adults are physically active regularly, accumulate 150 to 300 minutes of moderate aerobic activity every week, perform muscle strengthening activities at least twice a week, and include functional balance and strength activities on 3 or more days per week. Notice something important. The recommendation isn't go to the gym every day. It's staying physically active and regularly challenge the systems that you require to be independent. So why does this matter after the age of 60? Well, as we get older, we don't just lose muscle. We gradually lose strength and power, and that's a critical distinction. Strength is your body's ability to produce force. Power is your ability to produce that force quickly. And everyday life requires both. Imagine you're getting out of a chair. You need enough strength to lift your body weight. Now, imagine you trip on a curb. You need to generate force quickly enough to move your foot and recover your balance. That's power. And research shows that resistance training can improve strength and functional mobility in older adults, including outcomes such as gait speed, balance, and physical performance. A 2026 systematic review involving more than 5,900 older adults across 92 studies found that resistance training produced substantial improvements in strength and meaningful improvements in gait-related measures. So when we talk about exercise after 60, we're not just talking about building muscles simply to look better. We're talking about building the physical reserve that you need to remain independent. So what does this habit look like in real life? Well, it doesn't have to be complicated. Maybe you start your morning with 10 sit-to-stands from a chair, then you go for a 20-minute walk. Later in the day, you carry the shopping bags rather than avoiding them. You take the stairs when appropriate. You spend 15 minutes gardening. You practice your balance while standing near a kitchen bench. And 2 or 3 times during the week, you perform a proper resistance training session. That's a physically active day. And notice something important. Not everything has to be exercise. Movement can be built into your lifestyle. Walking the dog, cleaning the house, doing some gardening, playing with the grandkids, getting up from your chair regularly, walking to the shops, carrying things. These activities all contribute to your total movement. But there's one thing I don't want you to misunderstand. Walking and daily activities are fantastic, but they don't completely replace resistance training. If you want to preserve muscle strength, you need to give your muscles a progressively challenging stimulus. So here's a simple routine I would use as a starting point, and you can do most of them at home. Exercise number 1, the sit to stand. Control on the way down, pushing up strong on the way up. This trains your quadriceps, your glutes, and directly practices one of the most important movements in everyday life. Exercise number 2, resistance band rows. This trains the muscles of your upper back, rhomboids, latissimus, and elbow flexors, maintaining your pulling strength. Exercise number 3, some step-ups, using some support if required, pushing up strong, and controlling yourself back down. Pushing up strong, controlling yourself back down. This combines strength, balance, and coordination. Exercise number 4, standing calf raises. Your calf muscles contribute to walking, propulsion, and ankle stability. lowering down slowly, pushing up through the balls of the feet, and using a wall or some support device. Exercise number 5, some balance. Stand near a stable surface for support and practice that single leg balance. Nice control. Control your breathing, focus on your balance. This whole routine may take around 10 minutes. 10 repetitions of each of these movements. And you don't have to perform it every day. The key is consistency and progression. As these exercises become easier, you can gradually increase the challenge, and that's how you create adaptation. But here's the mistake I see all of the time. Someone starts exercising at 65. They perform the same 5 exercises with the same resistance for the next 10 years. And then they wonder why they haven't got any stronger. You must remember this: movement maintains capacity, challenge improves capacity. And those are 2 different things. Your body is remarkably efficient. It doesn't maintain large amounts of muscle and strength simply because you once had them. It maintains them because they're still useful. And that's why progressive resistance training is so important. You need to periodically tell your body, I still need this muscle, and then give it a reason to adapt. So if you want to know the one habit that stronger older adults have in common, it's not necessarily a particular exercise, it's a mindset. They keep moving. They don't stop using their bodies simply because they're getting older. They walk, they carry, they climb, they squat, they push, they pull, and they balance. And they continue challenging themselves appropriately, because the goal of exercise after 60 isn't to become an elite athlete, it's to preserve your physical independence. To be able to get off the floor, carry your shopping, walking confidently, climbing stairs, traveling, playing with your grandchildren, and to get out of bed each morning knowing that your body is capable of doing what you ask it to do. That's what Fit Past 60 is all about. Not just adding years to your life, but adding strength and capability to those years. If you found this video useful, subscribe to Fit Past 60 below and share it with someone that needs to hear this message. Thanks for watching. And until next time, age strong by science. I'll see you then. Thanks.